Welcome to Larp Academia. Today we're going to talk about what you get as a level 2 healer. Now, your first purchasing option is Adaptive Blessing. Now, Adaptive Blessing is the exact same enchantment you get as a scout, and we'll give you a link in the description down below to 6th level scout. The only difference is that it is magic, it's not extraordinary, and you're wondering, Wizzo, Adaptive Blessing was good for scout, and yeah, it is, but here's the thing. The scout is paying attention to what's going on. They're wondering, wow, okay, there's a healer over there who's entangling everyone, who's commanding people to stop, so I'm going to be immune to subdual or command. Great job. You have to now go out, enchant people, after figuring out what's happening, tell that person they're resistant to that effect, and then they can go out and be resistant if they remember. So that's the problem with Adaptive Blessing, is that it's a one-time use. It is nice per life, but the fact that it's per life only elevates it to being red instead of gray, because the logistics of you figuring things out as they're going on, putting on the appropriate enchantment for people, having them remember, having them come back to you and being like, oh, Wizzo, I used it. And you're like, that's right, you did. And then putting it back on them is very low, very low. And in addition, the other problem with it is that it makes the bearer not able to take other protective enchantments. So, well, enchantments from the protection school, which is not great. So there are problems, especially since you have access to more enchantments to give people if you want to. So Adaptive Blessing has its place, can be good, but in a practical sense, not usually taken because it's hard to practically apply and you're doing other things as a healer rather than just babysitting with enchantments. Your next purchase option is another spell that we've already talked about. In fact, I'll give you a link in the description down below for the Amtgard Basics of Magic Part 3 that talks about many different types of spells. This is Entangle. Now, Entangle is awesome. Remember how we talked about how a short sword is meant to be more of a deterrent to people? Well, an Entangle Ball is a deterrent and an enforceable deterrent. For most classes, they come at you, you can just, no, stay there, I don't like you. And then you can whoop, 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 run away. Now, Entangle, what's also great about it is that if you are a frontline healer or a mid the frontline healer, you're able to go out there with a charged spell ball and have some form of safety, a little bit of safety. I mean, you're on the front lines after all, but a little bit of safety as you go out there to try to find your friends, heal them, charge it again, and then go, because you're on your own and you're trying to go and help people. So Entangle is a great way to keep you alive. And really, anything to help keep you alive is extremely important. So you definitely do want to take Entangle, or at least one purchase of it, because you can also pick up spell balls and use them again. It's great. It's unlimited. You don't have to waste your breath because, you don't need to charge it back. You just need to charge the ball, the strength, the first mind evoke, the strength, the first mind evoke, the strength, the first mind evoke, and then go. Instead of, all right, charge Entangle, out of battle, and you're going to be doing that enough. You don't want to do the charge and can't for anything else that you don't have to. So that is why you should take Entangle. It's great. If you want more information, learn more about it in our Amtgard Basics of Magic Part 3. Now, for your next purchase option, we have something that is not repeatable from some other videos. So we'll have to really talk about it. It is a hinged weapon. Now, hinged is not as good as a short sword, and you're probably wondering why. Very whippy, it's flaily, it's not very controllable. It's not very There's a problem with it, as you see. So if I try to block with it, I have the length of a dagger to block with, because this, as you can see, if it's going to block an incoming strike, it's not going to block anything. With a flail, if you are able to do this, and this, then congratulations, you are the best you will ever be with a flail. Now, a flail has its uses. It's good against shieldmen who are not that experienced, don't know how to block it and everything else, but that's for people who are on the front lines. You're not on the front lines. In fact, most people coming at you will probably be the assassins, or the people who, or even monks, someone who is somewhat resistant or immune to magic, and they're probably going to have dual wielding. Now, a hinged weapon or a flail is not good versus two short swords, because all I need to do is put a short sword out a little bit and, see it? It wraps around the short sword. if this was a short sword. It's not even getting past my elbow. It's not a good deterrent. And you're basically fighting, you're blocking with a dagger that's kind of whippy and can be tangled up. You attack, haha, you tangle up your weapon another person's, and then they'll kill you with the other. It's an option, it's a deterrent, but it's not the best. It's not as good as a short sword, which is why it's a little bit lower. But if you need to pick up something, it's better to have a flail than a shield and dagger, which is cute. Now, in our first level video for healer, we talked about how banished can stop a barbarian's fight after death. Now, what I meant by this was that but right before that conversation happened, or right before that point happened, we were talking about an assassin teleporting in, and then a barbarian coming in and doing fight after death. Well, that's the idea of if a barbarian is teleported in. And banished can stop that. Banished can stop barbarian bombs, which is great. But what if they're not teleported in? What if they come in all sneaky like most barbarians do, because this is really stealthy, and they go in, and they somehow get in your lines, they die, and they go fight after death, or they fight after death on the front lines, trying to open a hole for their teammates to pour through. Well, since healer is, after all, the most powerful class in the game, you of course have a way to stop another class's twice per refresh most powerful ability that is the iconic part of their class, and that is greater release. Now, greater release is a per refresh, which is why you need to fix it with experience. We talked about why experience would be great in first level. You experience greater release, you now have infinite. Now, greater release doesn't just stop barbarians fight after death. It stops all ongoing effects on a person. And since it has a range of 20 feet and is not touch, you're able to do this to enemies and friends alike if you really want to. This includes a wizard's elemental barrage. So if you ever see a wizard going around, fireball, lightning bolt, sphere of annihilation, and just saying the names of spell balls when they throw them, you can strip away that ongoing effect. Just like you can strip away the ongoing effect of fight after death. It's really nice, really annoying, and barbarians hate it when you pull it off. They get so angry, and they probably should. But that's not all greater release does, because greater release gets even better. Greater release removes all states. Now, there's no stipulation there. There's no, oh, except for curse. No. It removes curse. And the even better part about greater release is it works on dead players. So if an assassin kills someone in the back, and says assassinate to curse them, then you are able to say, oh, okay, you're cursed. All right. And you are able to greater release them, and then summon them, and then resurrect them, and it's a process. But you are able to actually resurrect them, and that's if they're at base. If they're at the same spot, then just greater release and resurrect. There's a lot of stipulations. We'll go into it when we get into resurrect at level 3. Greater release is very good, really good, pretty important. You should definitely take it and experience it because it is awesome. Another fun spell that you have is hold person. Now, the only other classes that get this are, assassins and scouts, and it is fine. They have like their magical thing, whatever. Some other classes get it. Even a wizard gets it. And yeah, it's per life. That's great for all of them. Yeah, other classes get it. But your hold person is better than theirs. Why? It is charge times 3. Charge times 3. So you essentially have infinite hold person. And hold person is really great. You hold a person, make it so that they can't move their feet, they're stopped. And then your teammates go around and just pop, 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 pop. Which makes it really easy for your teammates. Less likely that they will actually get hurt when fighting this person. And it may just stop a person on the sidelines coming in to kill you. You could just command them to stop. And, and then you just say, hey guys, pick him off. Pick him off when we need to. I'm going to go heal someone else. So hold person is great. It keeps you alive. It can help your teammates. It's a really powerful spell, just don't use it on monks and barbarians. Now, a strange one. I consider this for every other magic class as a crutch, where you didn't properly build your list, or you're saying that, oh, I'm going to make it so that in case I'm in a pinch. Well, innate for you isn't about not planning well. It's not about, oh, I need to use that as a crutch. It's not about, oh, I guess, I don't know, let's throw points in because I'm bad at making spell lists. No, innate for you is extremely good and essential, especially because you have so many chargeable abilities. Remember how we experienced greater release and it's charge times 10? You don't want to charge times 10 an ability. I mean, that is so long. You're already going to have to charge for other stuff. Everything else is chargeable. Ugh. I don't want to do that. Innate lets you instantly charge abilities, and it is per life. You can get Innate back. In fact, you will get Innate back. And while Innate is for you 2 points instead of 1, and you can only have 2, you are still able to get 2 just per lives that you are able to instantly charge something. This could be in a pinch, you Innate charge greater release and then use it to stop that barbarian going fight after death. You are able to try to speed up the resurrection process with Innate. You are able to, if you are really in a pinch, Innate hold person, get it back and just go. You're able to Innate 90% of your spell list, or it seems like, because pretty much everything is chargeable. It's great. It's wonderful. Healer is broken. You gotta love it. So that is why Innate is really good for you. Maybe not as much for the other classes, but for you, it is essential to at least have 1 Innate, because, oh my goodness, Innate is amazing. Now, you probably noticed that healers don't have a lot of dispelling magic. We can't take away enchantments from other people. And you might say, oh, well, that's just because we haven't gotten high enough. No, not really. Not really. When you compare it to druids, wizards, I mean, everyone else pretty much, your dispel's not great. So you have to get something that no other class can do to make up for it, and that is Sever Spirit. Now, Sever Spirit is able to be cast on a person who is dead. Dispel magic cannot be cast on a person who is dead, but Sever Spirit is able to be cast on a person who is dead. What this does is it makes them cursed and strips away, removes all enchantments on them. Now, normally this isn't a big deal because when people die, their enchantments go inactive. So just, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, you're going to make me cursed. All right. And while an assassin is a bit more effective with cursing, you can take away those persistent enchantments. So if there is someone who has persistent, like Golem, where they just go and they have, oh, I have 3 enchantments permanently forever and I'm a god, you can say, oh, you're dead. And he's like, haha, I'm dead. No one can dispel me now. Actually. And then you sever their spirit and curse them. Just to add insult to injury. And what makes it even better, Sever Spirit is, as you guess, chargeable. It is charged times 3. So you can keep pumping this thing. Now, it is a spirit magic, so if someone is cursed, you cannot cast Sever Spirit on them. It won't really do anything. So there is that little bit to watch out for. But if someone has persistent enchantments and they die, this is the best way to get rid of them. It is an amazingly good spell, and any healer that has taken it and has used it has professed multiple times that, yeah, this is good. Even if it's just a curse, it's charged times 3 and I can curse anyone. It's wonderful. I'll curse the people who actually remember it, and then it'll make their team's life absolute hell. And the Sever Spirit is great. Most healers that have used it like it. But again, you have to use it. And for backline healers, it's not going to be great. For frontline healers, you need to find the time to do it. And I mean, there's pros and cons to it, where it's not a must take, but it's very good. On to Shove. Shove is described in the Amtgard Basics of Magic Part 3, where we talk about a whole bunch of other spells. Now, Shove is great for you. It is wonderful. While it isn't at first level like bards and wizards get, which does kind of suck, and it is a 2nd level spell, and it is per life, and it's not the best version of Shove out there. Oh my goodness, you don't have the best version of something terrible. Cry. But you are able to shove just about anyone. You're not able to shove monks, obviously, because they're immune to verbals, but remember those barbarians? They come up, they're immune to command, immune to subdual, they're immune to your entangles, they're immune to basically everything you've got. Shove is your way to say, no, go away. You shove them, and then you say, hey, teammates, there's a barbarian over here. I don't want to fight that thing. That's not my job. So you get your teammates to fight them. Shove keeps you alive. Shove works on yes, except monks, and it's a great spell. On to your last purchasing option for level 2, and that is Summon Dead. Now, Summon Dead doesn't seem that great at first. Just, oh, someone's dead. Okay, cool. Come here. Whoop-de-doo, who cares? But I am going to talk about this in reference to Resurrect, because that is its purpose, is to work with Resurrect. Now, Summon Dead is per life, it's chargeable. It has a range of 50 feet. That's right, I said 50 feet. So you can be like, hey, Billy, way over there. I don't want to go and die to Resurrect you. Get over here. And they have to come to you. Now, that is if they don't move. If they do move, the only way to resurrect them is to summon dead into Nirvana. And that's why, especially if you're a backline healer or even a front or midline healer, summon dead is extremely important. We'll go into all the specifics when we get into Resurrect. As you see, I'm kind of dancing around this topic that a lot of spells are geared to work with Resurrect. So we'll talk about it a lot in level 3. But for now, that's all we have. I hope that you enjoyed what you get at a level 2 healer. It's a lot of powerful spells, a lot of purples, which, I mean, shouldn't surprise any of you at this point. But healer is an extremely powerful class. I'd love to hear what you think is the best spell for level 2. If you think that level 2 spells are not good enough, of course, nothing's good enough for healers. And I just would love to hear your comments in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell. Until next time, keep LARPing.